Kirtan means prayer, and the passionate outburst of extreme love. Anyhow, just as a side note, the sweet Kirtan, the sweet Hari Kirtan, is when it arouses emotions in your heart. When the emotion for Krishna intensifies, or maybe the emotion for the Vaishnavas, if you say Kiyanilo Premadama. Yesterday we heard this reggae musician, Harinama, who was singing the Premadama, the Yanilo Premadama in such a tasty and beautiful way, touching. So why you sing Yanilo Premadana? To lament the separation of a Vaishnava. And in this lamentation, your emotions become so intense, you may even start to cry. I mean, devotees hide their tears when they come. They don't want to make a show of them, but emotions produce tears. Mahaprabhu says, if I cannot cry while chanting Hare Krishna, it means nothing is happening inside of me. It means I have no love for Krishna. Many people have killed themselves because they couldn't obtain their beloved grace or company. And they decided, then I don't want to live. So energetic, so intense was their emotion. So the whole process of Krishna consciousness is divine emotion. And those divine emotions, they are absolutely desirable. We don't want to become emotionless. When you go for Vipassana, they tell you should stop thinking. Well, maybe it's good you stop thinking of so much nonsense. There's a good start in the idea, but do we want to cut out our emotion and make us emotionless? That means we become like stones. We're sorry, I don't want to offend the stones because I don't really know their psyche too well, but we worship Govardhan, so there must be something. In the Shalagram we also worship, so devotion in the stone, that's for very high people, that they can understand that. How deity worship actually works. Because last but not least, deities are made of stones, or brass, or wood, or diamond, or mind. A deity can be made from the mind and can be worshipped. So deities are very, very intrinsic, secret teaching of the divine influence permeating matter to the effect that matter stops being matter. It becomes spirit. Because consciousness is spirit. So altogether, in that sense, I didn't mean to offend the stones, but no feeling means indifference, no care. It doesn't touch you, it doesn't bother you. It's like it doesn't exist for you. That is not an elevated state of consciousness, to my understanding. That's not the school I follow. The school I follow is Laulyam Lalashamai, where the devotion becomes so intense that it brings you to the board of madness. And this unbearable madness, you can only share it with others, laughing, crying, jumping, dancing. Maybe that kirtan was a little bit that type of madness, no? Let's give it the benefit of the doubt, no? But the fact that this has to be something very deep, heartfelt, heartfelt, full of compassion, full of gratefulness for what we have received. And very particularly, the chanting of the holy name is that joint prayer where we all say the same prayer in so many ways. Oh my Lord, please let me be an instrument of your love. Oh my Lord, I need your service. Oh my Lord, give me some chance to be useful. Oh my Lord, you are Radha, you are Krishna, you are all in all, you are far out, you are wonderful. So here I am. Take me in. Take me in, don't let me leave. Don't let me lay astray in this world. I've been astray from you for such an extensive, long period. Now I simply pray. I simply pray, forgive me. Take me back. I'm yours. I'm your property. Claim your property. Give this property some of your teeny little sevas. Maybe washing pots in the kitchen, maybe cleaning bathrooms, I don't care. You are my master, and whatever you wish, this will be my command. And that is the meaning of Paramadvaiti Krishna. Not, oh, I asked for service, I wanted to be the temple president. They didn't make me the temple president, so I left and do nothing. Very strange prayer is there involved, you know. So the depth of the prayer is really how much intensively you are touched by the emotions coming from your profoundness of concern. You can rattle down a prayer. You can also rattle down the Mahamantra. And you hardly think about what you're doing. You're just doing it like a monotone. Like something, okay, I got to chant my rounds, okay. And like half sleeping, half praying, half thinking of something else. So we can rattle down our prayers, and that's not so effective. You can imagine, no? Krishna listens to your quality of prayer. What are you praying for, my dear? Are you really praying to be forgiven for all your mistakes? Are you really praying that you may be given chance to preach? Just like I don't know why I get this chance to preach, but I sit here on the chair of Vyasadeva. It's not my chair. I have nothing to do with this. I have no claim to this chair, except that I'm repeating holy books coming from Vyasadeva, and therefore it's a tradition that you get an asana, which is called Vyasa Asana, the asana of Vyasa. So that when you talk from this seat, you better talk what Vyasadeva would say, and not talk anything like mental concoctions. So, I am allowed to sit here and to preach or to speak to you about these concerns of the intensity of prayer. And the better the prayer is in one, it will affect the other. There's a contagious element in that. And that contagious element is so beautiful, because when you start praying, and in that prayer you say, Krishna, I want to do something for you in Peru. I want to do something for you in Cuba. I want to do something for you in Puerto Rico. I want to do something for you in Venezuela. I want to do something for you in Danbury. I want to do something for you with the University of Ancient Wisdom. I want to distribute prasadam to everybody. I want to be part of your divine plan, as Prabhupada has given, has spelled out, has designed, as the major, biggest designer of spiritual spaces. Prabhupada was able to convert spaces from mundane space to spiritual space. Hey, where do you find that? A spiritual space which is not contaminated by the notion of private property. There ain't no business of, oh, this is mine. I, me, mine. Okay, have your watch, have your problems, take care of your family, but Krishna's is Krishna's. And if you want to do something for Krishna, first of all ask, what's Krishna's bank account? Who is Krishna's spokesperson? Who is Krishna's protector of the ideal? Is there really an effort done? Is our temple in Miami going to be their lordship's divine center for all generations to come to the Vrindavan or to the Miami meditation garden and enlivening and loving and developing and giving and crying and praying and eating prasadam, open door to all who come with positive attitude. But if that's not so, then it's a little bit close to nothing. Of course, a person can give his private property on loan for preaching, let's say once a week as a bhajan evening, and so can say, this day we are not in my home, this day we are in Krishna's bhajan home, and whatever donation comes in on that day, that will be put into Krishna's account for whatever plan they have, what they want to do. Otherwise, you want to chant as a business? Huh? You want to speak the Bhagavatam to earn a living? That's not accepted by Prabhupada. As a matter of fact, the people who do that, even though they may be very successful in material point of view, they cannot convey what Prabhupada conveyed. That what Prabhupada conveyed is to create transcendental space. Space where the Lord is our Lord and Master, and we together enthuse each other to do it better and better and bigger, whatever. Krishna is not about bigger, it's about more beautiful, more sweet. But beautiful, sweet does not mean it cannot be big either. There's no hard and fast rules here. But whatever it means, well, time will tell. Time will tell. But basically, if you go out in this world, where do you find a space of Krishna? Very rare. And a space without offense. Maybe you find a space where they say it's all Krishna, but the devotees of Krishna who don't belong to these institutions, they are not welcome. Then you say, is it a private property of somebody with a narrow-minded spirit? Or is it really Krishna's property? Is it really the place where everybody is welcome to give? Why you go in a temple, why you're welcome in a temple? Because you go there to give. Somebody comes to the temple to take, this is not normal. Unless he's doing some great service, he needs some little financial support for doing that service, like buying a tape recorder or something like that. But no way you go to the temple to take from the temple. You go to the temple to give to the temple, and that's gift. And all the gifts you give to the temple, that's your devotion. That's your plan. That's your presentation. And you know, I have so many temples I'm involved with in my life. I'm already like sick and tired of it. But not really in the essence, because the principle of doing things for Krishna is for me holy and sacred. Just by now I feel it's the job of the devotees to protect it. I I've given them enough indications what it means, and now they can look after that. I don't have to go till the end of my life to make sure they paid the property tax and they enthused everybody to give their monthly donation to keep a place afloat, to keep it running. This is like that, you know. And we are in a world, unfortunately, we are not overshadowed, overshowered by generosity. Very rare that you meet a generous person who understands what Prabhupada said when he says 50% Krishna. Brahmachari sannyasi, 100% Krishna. Well, don't touch it, Tirtha. This is a principle for getting the fullest out of it, for really understanding what it's all about. And then you get very, very incredibly rewarded. You have a place to go where the doors and the hearts are open. Everything I did over those years, be it Varshana, Gornitai, Medellin Mandir, Kali Mandir, Quito Mandir, always have been done with this in mind, that this should be open as an educational center of spiritual dedication, Srila Prabhupada style. And even though we were not able to keep up that high standard all the time, because Prabhupada's standards are extremely high and they require extreme dedication, but the temples are still open and there's no private property, and there is transparency and there's accounting, and there are all these things which are required that it will not become a mess. We have seen temples turn into a mess because of some financial discrepancies between leaders about something. Silly, stupid things. Not even big amounts. Simply the fact that there were private personal interests sneaking in. It was big enough a problem to create like a major upheaval. So therefore I know what I'm talking about. This is very important. If you want to do something for yourself, whatever you want, welcome, do it, and leave me alone. Please leave me alone with your private program. Nevertheless, I'll bless you if you want to do something for Krishna from your private things. I'll still bless you, or Prabhupada will bless you, but don't involve me. I have no time for such things. I only have time for the things which belong to Krishna, where the doors are open for everybody and all Vaishnavas are regarded. It's the only place I can identify with. And that is what we are praying for. Our prayer is Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhudaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. That is our prayer. That we want to worship the feet of the Vaishnavas. Accept my most humble obeisance under your feet. Vaishnava Thakur, you're full of mercy. You can forgive anything mistake made. You can give bhakti to me. I'm running after you. Please give bhakti to me. That is my prayer to you. And we pray this every day. We are supposed to start our day, Trinata Pisa Vichana, Tarora Pisa Ishnana, Amanina Manadina, Kirtaniyat, Sadahadi, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Baivacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. These are the key shlokas for understanding and practicing Vaishnavism. If you understand the two, you understood the rest already. If you don't understand the cue, you probably don't understand any of the rest either. So it's a very daily function. We are repeating these shlokas. That means kindness, 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 kindness to all. Encouragement, encouragement, encouragement to all. Respect, respect, respect to all. I'm small, but I give respect to all. I'm tolerant, but I understand that all difficulties are simply coming to teach me something. So I give respect to everybody. No expectation of any respect for myself. That's not easy. The rebellious mind goes, why? Why do I have to shut up when somebody is talking nonsense like that? Why do I have to avoid the fight with somebody even though I think he's wrong? Because the way to correct him is not by getting angry and by jumping at him. There's other ways to correct people when they do anything wrong. Those who are working in children education, they know to reach a child and to make him understand his mistake. It takes a whole lot of trickery. You have to be so kind and you have to be so you have to know what you're doing, let's say, no? So that finally the guy says, yes, you're right, I was wrong. No, why not? People can understand their mistakes, why not? So, therefore, the Vrinda mission is a hardline mission. It's all for Krishna. That's our hard line. Everything belongs to Krishna. And whatever you give to Krishna is because you want to give it to Krishna. You are not obliged. Krishna does not want coerced donations or something like that. No. Krishna only wants your love, my friend. But this Vrinda mission is a hardline mission. Krishna is the center, Krishna is the owner. Today, tomorrow, and forever. And if you do have some private property, think about it. How much of that private property should be Krishna's? And if you decided it, then make the necessary measures and decisions so that it will actually come out like this. Like we just came from Cuba, and we were suffering so much because we could not identify what is Krishna's here. And that was giving us pain in our heart because we went there to establish Krishna, the transcendental owner of everything, the controller of everything, and the friend of everyone. And therefore he needs to have some people defend him. Defend Krishna 100%. And we didn't find that in Cuba very easily. There was like difficulty, personal necessity of others, and nobody with the full time for Krishna. And that is what a brahmachari is. That's what a sannyasi is. He is full time for Krishna. That is his glory. That is his his contribution. Full time for Krishna. And he can serve the whole community. Even if you have one temple, one devotee in the temple with that consciousness, he can maintain a whole community. Even only one. But if you don't have one, then it's very difficult, because then you don't know who's going to control the donations, who's going to control this, who's going to control that. So I am very satisfied here in Danbury, because I know you are very simple-minded devotees, very lovingly and very ready to glorify Krishna within your capacities, and you will establish Krishna's glory through Danbury Yatra and to Manhattan Yatra and to New Jersey Yatra, or wherever you are. You will keep it, maintaining it, and it will bring about some fruits at some time, because Prabhupada was planting the seed here in New York himself for a long time without fruits. So let's see what is the plan. In the meantime, you just keep giving support to Varshanaton, to the University of Ancient Wisdom, to Vrindavan, and to whatever other thing you see is beautiful, which is going on. And then, by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Giriraj Maharaj and Radha Krishna, you will think every time when you come into this temple, yes, this is his place, belongs to him, he has a bank account, and he has trustees, which are you. You guys are the trustees. You look after that. I have no business doing things like that. And to end this expose, which is rather simple but strong, I will read to you a few shlokas which will put you right in line of what I'm talking about. Dui Bhagavat Tadvara Diya Bhakti Rasa Tanhara Gidaye Tanre Prema Hayavasa. A pesar que las acciones de los dos Bhagavatas del Señor han inspirado las velocidades del Bhakti Rasa, las emociones del servicio trascendental amoroso en el corazón del sadhaka, esto causa que el Señor llegue bajo el control del amor de su devoto. Muy importante, Krishna se ve controlado por el amor de los devotos. Cuando alguien... Oh, sorry. I translated it?
No, you read it in Spanish.
In Spanish, okay. Sorry. Through the action of these two Bhagavatas, the Lord instills the mellows of Bhakti Rasa, the mellows of transcendental loving service, into the heart of a sadhaka, and thus the Lord comes under the control of his devotees' love. Now here we're talking about a level of love which is like, it's a doses of intensity that the Lord loves his devotee who is doing something for him so much that he does everything possible. Like, I must say, what I've seen in South America, so much love from Krishna for the devotees in South America. He has made everything possible. And those who are my assistants of the year, they know that within 30 years of the Vrinda mission, we have not made the first fundraising drive. We have never tried to get money. I mean, of course we sell a few items and have a few Sankirtan devotees out, but we have never put the emphasis on fundraising. And still Krishna has given us Ekutulipal, Adika, Gauramanda, Shraddhavan, Ragasadani. She gave this beautiful land for the women in Cusco. And just go on and on without raising funds for devotional expenditure. Krishna has given us more than we can expect, more than we could dream of, hardly more than we can really take care of. That's why we need so many people. We need, right now I have a house in Puerto Rico. I need some preacher who wants to be in Puerto Rico and give his love to all the people there. I get a house with a deity already. So we have more facilities for preaching than people who can do it. So can you imagine? And this is all happening because fundraising, those who are old devotees, they knew that fundraising was the number one topic in the old temples. That's all they would talk about. Fundraising, fundraising, fundraising. Going here and there, fundraising. Whatever, without critical approach. But in Vrinda, we don't know what's fundraising. We just know preaching, Harinam, university classes, being with the people who need us. So this is something, it should be noticed. If that's not noticed, then you don't know how loving Krishna has been with us. He has been so kind that he made things possible which are unimaginable. And every day it goes on. It has not come to a stop. Radhesham comes from Santa Marta. We are talking for the last 2 years that we need to raise some money for the Utsav, but we are so busy with the Utsav, we haven't started collecting yet, and still the Utsav is running. So this is what I'm talking. One should hear Bhagavatam from the mouth of a devotee. Eka Bhagavata Vada, Bhagavata Shastra, Ara Bhagavata Bhakta Bhakti Rasa Patra. One of the Bhagavatas is the great scripture Bhagavatam, and the other is the pure devotee absorbed in the mellows of loving devotion. So we want this real feeling. And how do you know the real feeling? Getting up in the morning, doing service all day, being attached to what has to be done, not sidetracking to other areas, but saying, okay, Krishna, this is your plan, I'm with you, I'm with your plan. And this is what we have learned from Prabhupada. That's how Prabhupada was. He was the person Bhagavat. And he gave us the book Bhagavat. And he made us read the book Bhagavat every morning, and he made us do seva to the person Bhagavatam all day. And even though Prabhupada withdrew himself from the visible plane, his call for service has continued to shower us. Yaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnavira Ekanta Shrayakara Chaitanya Charana. You must study Srimad Bhagavatam in the presence of a self-realized Vaishnava and take exclusive shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is Srila Prabhupada, that self-realized Acharya who has given us all the blessings. Or Srila Swarup Damodar, highest instruction to all the jivas is, if you want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, you must approach a Paramahansa Vaishnava who is exclusively surrendered at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Chandra. The sole asset of such Vaishnava is the import of the Bhagavatam as presented by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I could just go on reading, there's so much nectar. Whole thing is just one continuous flow of important things. But at the same time, I don't want to saturate you. I've said things strong which you're meant to put into practice if you want to get the result. And how do you do that? Very simple. Follow your heart and put it into practice. Now you can give me the